you guys make me look good. Thank God, thank God. Good morning again, everyone. So good to see all of you this morning. Such a wonderful day to be with all of you. This morning, my inspiration comes from LG Chen's Oneness, the simple self-healing secret you were never supposed to know. You were never supposed to know. You were never supposed to know that the power that is within you can solve all of your problems. Everybody tries to teach you that there's something you need from someplace else, from someone else, from somebody else, including the preacher. But I'm here to tell you everything that you need is already factory installed. It was there when you got here, it's there, you just gotta access it. So we're gonna talk about it this morning. And have you heard the line, be still and know? Be still and know that I am God. That's the theme and the spiritual principle that we're dealing with this morning. But Lao Tzu put it differently in the Tao Te Ching. He said, let the mud settle. Let the mud settle. This is the good news this morning of subtraction. We're not going to talk about everything you need to add to your life today. We're going to talk about subtraction. How many of you need one more thing to do in your life? How many of you need something, a new spiritual principle or practice by which to adopt for you to pay attention to and track all week long to see whether or not you are complying with it or not? Get out your pen because I'm going to have the final one for you this morning. And that is Chen's practice of oneness may be the one thing that you need because it's the practice of subtraction. He argues that this gives mental clarity, emotional control. Oh, so we need emotional control. And natural resolution. It's important to us. There's something that happens that can put you at the center of peace. Have you noticed that that really is the sensor inside of you to let you know whether everything is okay or it's not? It is that inner sense of peace. Because sometimes you can be going through hell. But if the inner peace is there, you just know you just have to wait till it's gone. You're going to go through. You're not going to die in the process. You're going to go through. So our condition this morning is always the fact that the world teaches us to add everything. We got to add something we haven't done. You got to add some speed, some pressure, some achievement, some noise. You just don't have enough going on in your life. Not enough stimulation. You need enough stimulation. But you know, the pressure that it all causes you. But we must remember that the soul is not a storage unit. That's not what it is. It's a river. It's a river. And the river does not clear from stirring. The river clears when it settles. And to let the river flow through you and through every aspect of your life, you cannot be stressed out about everything else that is going on in life. Because have you learned that being stressed out and worried is a spiritual principle and practice? That if you worry more than you've ever worried before, that you will become more spiritual? Have you realized that if you just worry more, it's going to solve the problem? It's going to change the people that need to be changed? It's going to change your job, change your life. Oh, and it's going to change you too. That's what worrying does. That's the principle that you need to adopt to fix your life. But I've learned that's not the way it works. Because you had to let the mud settle means that you pause and you stay still until the time of chaos and the time of stress and high emotion has passed away so that your mind is clear. Do you make good decisions when your mind isn't clear? Don't you wish you could roll back time and a few things that you have said when you were stressed out? How many times should have you asked for forgiveness? Or you thought that you should have asked for forgiveness and you didn't do it? Because you said something when you were stressed that you just should not have said. If you can sleep on it, you may not say it. Just remember, there's a whole lot of email in my draft folder. And I feel once I'm on a roll where I'm typing so fast that my head is moving faster than I can type, that I realize I better not send this right now. Because if I send this right now, this relationship is over. Okay? Because here's the thing. You think you can say whatever you want and it's going to reestablish a relationship? Really? When somebody says anything in the world they want to you, does that reestablish the relationship? You haven't had interaction with me. Because I guarantee you, if I ever let go, you'll never speak to me again. But it's in the draft folder. You are in my draft folder. I know better. I better sleep on it before I say it. And let me tell you something. It's not going to change the world if I say it today. Sleep on it and see if you still feel the same way and feel that you have to say it. But the stirring, if you were to stir dirt in a bucket, what happens? It becomes where you cannot see through it. The dirt is just circling around, it's stirring, and it's impossible to see through it. And this is what busy and being upset does. Your mind cannot see the truth because it is clouded by all of the dirt in our lives, and most importantly, in our thinking. Marianne Williamson tells a story. She said, I was worried about something, and I realized it was only in my mind. And she said, oh my God, it was in my mind. It's not the stuff that goes on outside of us that gets us in trouble. It's the stuff that goes on inside of us that gets us in trouble. Is there something stirring in your life? Is there something stirring up, that's something you don't seem to be able to see through, where you cannot see through clearly where you're going? This has to do with the fact that sometimes in life, it's not about doing, it's about being. It's about being who and what you are at your divine essence, that you are whole, perfect, and complete. But is that what is expressing at this particular moment? So LD Chen's story is similar. It's a story that many of us have heard and many of us have experienced, where his body eventually said no more. You've done enough. He tried every technique for healing. He tried every remedy and every spiritual hack, and only to discover that healing does not come from effort. It comes from release. Not effort. Release. Because when we release the anger and the resentment, the offender, the revenge, and the stress and the strain, we then find ourselves at being, not at doing. Doing often is a diversion. Being stressed out about something is often a diversion. Sometimes being angry is a diversion. By the way, when you're that way, it solves all of your problems just like worrying, right? Do you make good decisions when you're in that spot? If you do, you're better than me, because I don't. Believe me, if I said some of the things that I think initially, you would not believe I was a minister. Because I can't help it, because I'm human. And when I experience fear, and when I'm hurt, and when I'm challenged, particularly when I'm challenged, you will say things that you don't mean. Why? Because you're trying to protect yourself from the feeling that you are having right now. By the way, it works, right? Yeah, it works all the time. Chen was a young man with all of the evidence that one would want to seem to be successful. He had met every measure of success. But then he finds that his body is breaking down from the weight of it all and the constant striving that he expresses in life. He has asthma, and it tightens his breath, and his joints are feeling and experiencing pain all the time. And he says that their anxiety within him was buzzing around like hornets. And out here, you can know what a hornet buzzing around means. And he says, and I had a heart attack at 32. See, we think that youth will protect you from everything that you can experience. But if you run out, you may have that experience early. But this is his testimony, not mine. I'm not judging him for his experience. This is his experience. He said he tried all the doctors, all the medications, and we should, by the way, again, we are about a prayer and a pill. There's nothing. In fact, I want you to go to the doctor to find out what's wrong with you, know what to pray for, and then go back to the doctor to tell you that it's fixed. Don't avoid nothing. You never avoid the evidence. That is not what we mean when we talk about the denial. We deny that it has any power over us. We don't deny that it exists. That's just making stuff up. You can barely get up and walk, and you say, no, I'm fine. You are? Okay, that's where you want to crawl around on the floor. That's your objective. Okay, fine. But how do we get beyond all of this? How do we get ourselves out of this? And this was his problem. He had to figure out what he needed to do. He had added all of the stuff that you want to do. People have said, this is what you do to fix yourself. Have you ever tried so hard to fix yourself that you fractured yourself in the process? No, they did not make you angry. No, they did not make you do it. Nor did the devil make you do it. We did it because we wanted to do it. The devil is not an excuse up in here, okay? Even though I would like him to show up sometime to have somebody else to blame other than me. But it's not about the blame. What is it? It's about the responsibility. Because although we are not to blame for everything that we've experienced in life, we are always responsible for what we've experienced in life. And that means you have to embrace new principles by which to overcome, because you can't rationalize. You cannot wait till you feel better about it for your healing to come. You have to set your intention that you want your healing to happen no matter what. And if life gets hard enough, you will declare it. I'm just trying to shortcut yourself to the miracle and let you know that when you start experiencing it, you need to reach out. He had tried it all. He said, but the teacher told him, there's no mantra, there's no breath count, there's no performance, there is nothing but quiet understanding of who and what we are. It is about being quiet and not interfering with what spirit is manifesting in your life. We are supposed to be aware. We need to understand everything that happens to us. We need to always examine ourselves for that. But at the same time, we need to be confident that we are here and designed, we were made to overcome. And it's this power that is within us that gives us the ability to do this. It is by our nature that we are able to do this. Ernest Holmes writes that surrender is not surrendering the intellect or personal integrity. It means the necessity of understanding that laws work for us only as we first obey them. Have you ever tried to change the law? Did that work for you? You jumped up, but gravity pulled you back down? That's the law. Hermes, which he's quoting, says, nature obeys us as we first obey it. See, this is why we talk about miracles are not exceptional things in our experience. Because I'm supposed to be healthy. I'm supposed to be abundant. I'm supposed to be healthy. The world has taught us that we need a miracle, that God must stand in and make it different than it is. No, I just need to be what I am. That's the difference. Being what you are, not trying to overcome something and be something that we're not. You were designed for perfection. Don't think that something has to happen to you to make that God is going to grant you something because you are a good person. It's already in you. Not just you, everybody else you know, even the people you don't like and don't like you. That's the one thing about the divine. The divine's not worried about who I like and who I don't like. It blesses everybody. That is something we're going to have to take up one day with the divine. Exactly why do you bless those folks? You know, if you read the Psalms, that's how Israel was. God, how long? How long will you wait, God, to avenge me? I'm the righteous one. They are not supposed to win without recognizing there's something happening in us at the same time. So he gives us this new spiritual practice. It's a spiritual technique, a spiritual practice. Now, how many spiritual practices should you use? The one that works for you. If it doesn't work, it's just something else you know. The question is what does it work? And if you've tried everything else, maybe you need to try subtraction. Because he says it's the ability to stand like a tree in your own understanding. It is an open awareness. It is not about gazing and focusing on something. It is about not focusing on anything, but just being aware of the tension in your body and deciding to release the tension wherever you find it. And this exists in every tradition. In the Tao, it's lose daily. In Christianity, it's be still and know. In Buddhism, it's drop the grasping. In Islam, it's surrender. Oh, God, that word. In Judaism, it is about the Sabbath, that you just stop working at it and understand and be aware of what your experience is. The wisdom of letting go. At times, sometimes we just have to let go. And creation has its own intelligence, and so does your body. Your body can fix itself. Let me tell you, I've been in healthcare, I hate to say it, for almost 50 years. But as a result of that, you know what I've learned? We just treat you until your body kicks in, because that's where the healing is. The cure is in you. We just got to get you there. And that's what prayer does. We just got to get you there. We believe in your wholeness, in your goodness, and everything that perfection manifests in your life, and we hold on to that to you until you figure it out for yourself. That's what we do. That's what we hold space for. See, our lives are much more like a choir that harmonizes. It's like our choir here this morning, when our choir is here, that everything is playing its own part, but it all goes together for this beautiful symphony. And this is what your nervous system is. It knows what it needs to do if we can be aware of it and pay attention to it. Though when the mind stops pushing, the heart moves forward. And when I'm talking about heart, I'm really not talking about that thing that's beating in your chest. What I'm talking about is consciousness. Spirit, heart, and science of mind is consciousness. That's why the first mind that comes to you, you say, my first mind, that's consciousness. The belief that you're going to overcome, that's consciousness. Because you may not, in your logical understanding of something, you may not believe it to be true. Because if you look at all the evidence, you look like you're not going to make it. But the technique is stand, relax, allow, and let the mud settle. Let the river clear. Let the body do what it has always known how to do. People practicing this say they have more peace in their life and their anxiety loosens. Because if you think about it, can you stand still for 5 minutes? What about 20? That's the technique. Can you stand still for 20 minutes, not focus on anything, not process anything, not analyze anything, not rehearse what you're going to tell your partner or lover or children, but just be? In fact, I guarantee you, if you try to do 20 minutes without doing 5, you're going to find out you probably can't do it. How many of you can stand to be in absolute silence? I had to learn how to be in complete silence, because I always had music in the background. Sometimes you don't need any noise, because you need to focus on just being. Not because you've tried harder, but sometimes that you finally stop trying. Now, this sounds totally different when I probably said last week, because you know I'm an overcomer preacher. It's all I'm going to tell you. Whatever is in life, whatever it is, you can overcome. No matter what you've been through, no matter what has happened to you, you can overcome. And overcoming comes in different packages. Sometimes it is making effort. Sometimes it is reflecting on who and what we are and changing how we necessarily manifest in life. But if none of that has worked, then you need to work on subtraction. You need to find out what you need to let go. As hard as it is to let go, because we are all so good at change. And you know, letting go is change. Are you good at it? I am great at change as long as I'm in control. I'm great. I am happy. You couldn't find me happier than something is changing and I'm in control of the change. I love it. Now, when somebody else is changing something for me, I'm ornery right before we get started. You know, if I'm going left and you tell me to go left, I'm probably going to get mad. Don't tell me to go left. You don't tell me what to do. Am I the only one? Oh, no, I looked at your face. I can tell you got to realize I can see all of you, and I know when I step on your toes. And I'm not reading your mail, even though you think I do, right? Honey, that's consciousness. If you don't want to hear your mail, don't come here. Because I found that sometimes we're all getting the same email. Because you can know what's going on in my life because you hear about it right here. I just have to admit it's true. You know, this is not self-improvement that we're talking about at all. This is about a self-returning. It is about a homecoming, coming home to the heart in your individual consciousness. Remembering that the original blessing of your essence is that you are whole, perfect, and complete. Not our thoughts all the time whole, perfect, and complete. And certainly my behavior isn't always whole, perfect, and complete. But down at my essence, at the thing that God created, I am whole, perfect, and complete. And if I could just get back through the mud in life to realize the clarity of what that means, then I can walk in the power of it. So you need to let the river clear. You need to let your own breath return home. Then you will find that what the elders and the teachers have already given to us, that God is already there, already moving, already mending, and already making a way out of no way. There's no way I'm going to make it. Have you ever thought that? There's no way out of this. This is it. This is the one. But God can make a way out of no way. Because what we think is impossible, God, all things are possible. So we speak today that when the world gets loud, you should be still. When your heart gets heavy, you should be still. And when the path seems crowded, be still and know only oneness. That you are not in this alone. That God will show up every time that we turn in the direction of that consciousness. That down deep within us, there is a power for good greater than we are that we can use. It's not out there, it's in there that we can use. And it's only one power, and it's the power of love. So may you subtract what burdens you, may you release what tightens you. May you stand in the quiet center of your own being until clarity rises like a well of living water. And may you stand in the quiet center of your own being until clarity rises like the morning light. Then you will discover, as Chen did and the mystics have, that your own body already knows that healing is not something that you chase. It is something that you allow. So let the mud settle. Be still and know. Let the river clear. Let your heart return and let oneness be your home. And so it is.